Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who the Hell Asked. I'm your host, Byron, alongside my co-host, Slade. How are you doing?
I am doing pretty great, Byron. How are you today?
I'm doing good. We got something a little special, something different from our usual. Not that much news this week, so we're doing Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl speculation of
That's right.
all kinds.
We're going to speculate some of the characters that are going to be in the game, as well as some of them we think are already in the game, per like things like the box art and like stuff like that.
Yeah, and
So
other features and stuff.
yeah. So without further ado, let's get it underway. Byron, if you could pull up a image of the box art and put it on screen. Um, Basically, you could kind of see like the outline of quite a few of the characters that's already on there. Some of them are harder to make out than others, but you can clearly see towards like the middle. You can clearly see Ren and Stimpy, which they weren't characters that were officially introduced whatsoever.
Yeah.
So we're fairly confident that those two are going to be in the game. I know to the left, a lot of people pointed out that you could see Aang and Korra, which makes a lot of sense because they were also in that Nickelodeon style Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
And I think you could also see Cat Dog towards the very bottom. That's all I was able to make out from it. I know there are some people on the internet who have, accurately drawn out everything that they could see on there overall. But we're not going to be speculating about any of those characters. We're moving forward with the assumption that they're just in the game. So we were going to do this either by show or possibly just kind of like just throw darts at the wall and see if any of them stick. So
yeah, I've got one that should be obvious. The other two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah, it would be weird if they just went with Leonardo and Michelangelo.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be pretty weird.
Yeah, and there's also like the idea that they could possibly also toss in like Shredder and some other characters in there. A lot of people don't realize is that the Ninja Turtles that are in the game actually have a lot of love from some of their moves they used in earlier video games. Like the Sex Kick is from like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up Turtles in Time.
TMNT4. Yeah, Turtles.
Yeah, and then like Leonardo's B recovery came from something that I can't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I've noticed is a lot of these characters were clearly very crafted with a lot of their previous, appearances in mind. Like when Patrick does like a down air, it does the thing where he was an ice cream cone,
Yep.
diving off the for that one competition.
Yep.
Like a lot of love has been put into these movesets, and that's one thing I walked away really impressed with. So, but yeah, back on Raphael and Donatello, I definitely think at bare minimum those two are going to be in the game.
Yeah.
Especially because they don't even have to work super hard to get their models or anything like that, because they could just copy and paste the same turtle model, change the color of their headband and their outfit, and give them a different weapon.
Yeah, and it'd be weird to have two of the turtles, but not all four of the turtles.
I will say this: if we only end up with two of the turtles, I would highly suspect that they would be DLC.
Oh my! That's
Which
even
would be
if this game is gonna get DLC.
I guess we should speculate about that early. I think it depends on how successful the game is. Obviously, it's got a lot of attention overall. And
Yeah, a lot of attention and a lot of memes.
Yeah, but more importantly, the developers seem to be very in tune with what they want to do for the game competitively as well as casually.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, one of the developers, Ludosity, has made Slap City.
That is correct. And Slap City is a pretty decent platform fighter. It's pretty competitive. It has a lot of the hardcore mechanics you come to expect out of the platform genre, like wave dashing, wave landing, and all that stuff. I think the more important thing is they've had multiple interviews with like IGN and lots of other like companies, and they've said themselves multiple times that competitive is a very large part why Nickelodeon approached them specifically to make this game.
That's very interesting.
Absolutely. So this could mean 100 different things. If this game has a long shelf life overall, then I imagine that competitive is definitely something that they're looking at when designing this game. And I imagine if it has a long shelf life, we'll also have DLC. I said it really just depends on the success of the game. If the game bombs, then it doesn't matter whether they plan DLC or not. It's just not going to happen at that point.
It's not gonna happen. And speaking of memes, I mentioned there is one character who has become the Waluigi of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl speculation. Hugh Neutron from Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, so that's honestly like super fascinating that he's kind of been memed up all over the place. You see him pretty much everywhere.
This character is already a meme. I don't know why this character in particular was like the one people latched onto, but it's very interesting.
Well, like even the voice actors like getting in on it and stuff like that. And like he's got a religion called Hueism, and the whole thing's hilarious. Unfortunately, I don't know or think this will impact his chances if he's not already in. We don't even know if Jimmy Neutron himself is going to be in the game.
Yeah, and like I would be shocked. I would kind of be shocked if he isn't in.
Yeah, I think it would be really bizarre for them to leave out like Jimmy Neutron, like one of the large faces of Nickelodeon, especially because Jimmy Neutron's like already a 3D character.
Yeah, and this game seems to be more focused on older Nickelodeon properties. They do have a few like of the new modern day Nickelodeon properties, but they seem to be focusing on like the 90s and 2000s Nickelodeon properties.
For sure. And I think there is a real chance overall that we still see Jimmy Neutron. As I said, I imagine a lot of these series, if they're not represented now, they'll be represented later through DLC. So it's really interesting because we don't know whether or not we got main characters from half the things they showed off. For example, they showed off Helga from Hey Arnold, but we didn't even see Arnold himself.
Yep, we did not, which female representation always a good thing. I'm just shocked like no Arnold as well.
Yeah, we also have Reptar from the Rugrats, though I imagine that's for a completely different reason than some of these other ones.
Like you don't want like these other characters like
squaring up on babies.
Yeah, like some of the current roster. You don't want like Nigel Thornberry or Powdered Toast Man or like Oblina beating up a fucking baby.
Oh yeah. I imagine in the case of Powdered Toast Man, like we said, Ren and Stimpy is on the box art, so we're just assuming they're in the game.
Yeah. If they're not in,
that would be shocking.
I guess Powdered Toast Man is more popular than the series characters, which would be hilarious.
Yeah. So back on the Hugh Neutron and Jimmy Neutron thing as a whole, I definitely think we see Jimmy Neutron. I don't know whether that turns into more than one character, but I do think that we see Jimmy at the bare minimum at one point or another.
If we get one Jimmy Neutron series character, it's probably going to be Jimmy.
So now, tossing out another comparison, since Hugh Neutron's become the Waluigi, I would say that Doug has become the Banjo and Kazooie of the franchise. Because Doug is no longer owned by Nickelodeon, Disney actually acquired Doug some time back. So what does that mean? It means that there's probably absolutely zero chance in hell we see Doug.
Yeah,
while we may have professed to see, we would never see Banjo and Smash or anything like that. I think two video game companies versus, two competing shows like Nickelodeon and Disney, it's just a completely different ballpark. So
yes, it is.
There's not going to be any Doug. There's no Quail Man. There's just none of that. So
none of that. So
take that as you will.
Yeah, another character that like a lot of people were surprised we're not in. This series already has 3 characters in, that being SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. What about this guy, Squidward? Squidward.
Yeah, I definitely think we're not done with SpongeBob representation. I understand from what I could see, it's the most represented series in it so far with 3 characters with
Yep.
Patrick, SpongeBob, and Sandy. I do
Yeah.
think we'll see Squidward, and we'll probably even see like either Mr. Krabs or maybe Plankton in some sort of mech as like a joke character or something like that.
Oh God.
I definitely
mech.
think that nobody's going to be surprised when SpongeBob's going to be the most represented series overall.
It's gonna be either SpongeBob or like it's both SpongeBob and the Turtles that will be the most represented. That is my prediction right now on that. Let's talk about the online.
Let's talk about the online. Yeah, so we're aware that this game's coming out with rollback netcode, which is really, really impressive. Like we said, there's a dedication to the competitive aspect that you wouldn't think would be there for a Nickelodeon shovelware title. And honestly speaking, I think calling this a shovelware title might be pretty insulting.
Well, hold on. Now the game is not out yet. Once it is out, and whether it's if it's good, people are going to call it a good game.
Yeah,
If it,
obviously the game has a lot of work that needs to be done. I said there's some shit where Patrick like was 20 feet above the air, command grabbing somebody on the ground without even aiming at them. So like,
yes.
but that being said, I definitely think that this game's clearly being made with a lot of love and care in mind. They could have just made up fucking random movesets for these characters, but there's some really detailed references in that.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
they're going above and beyond. Now,
The only thing that has me concerned on the development front is if they get the voice actors for these characters. Because I feel like if these characters don't have voices, then it removes a lot of the character from them. They just feel like lifeless husks at that point.
oh yeah, so that was one of the many criticisms of both recent Nickelodeon racing games is that there were no voices for the characters, and we did not hear any in the trailers, but there was music over it. So maybe there wasn't just in the trailer or in that build specifically, but hopefully there is in the main game, because yeah, like you said, like if there's no voices there was no real character to these characters that everybody loves. But maybe it's that the voice actors are too expensive. Who knows? Who knows on that one?
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I'm hoping that's not the latter scenario, that they're just too expensive to acquire some of these voice actors. Because it's not like they haven't had them all under one banner before, because clearly they've all been in these Nickelodeon shows.
Yeah,
So I think it's very important that they get most of these voice actors, and if they can't get all of them, at least get as many of the originals as you can, and try to get people that at least sound similar.
yeah,
The game just needs voice acting. You just can't have every character feel like an absolute lifeless husk. I just don't think that's a good look for them overall.
yeah, yeah. So back to the online. How do you think the online is going to work? Do you think it'll work like this meme-tacular image on screen that we have, like the Super Weenie Hut Jr. and the Salty Spittoon modes? Or
I imagine they'll probably have like how Smash 4 did, kind of like a for glory and for fun or something like that. I don't think they'll call it that, but
No.
I can't imagine they're going to do too much because I think it'll be really difficult for them to have 4 characters on screen unless they like really fine tune everything overall.
Well, they did say that it would be local and online up to 4 players.
Okay, so we could see some free-for-alls and some doubles online as well.
Yep.
But I think until they show off more trailers of the game, it's kind of too early to speculate specifically about online modes and stuff like that. I'm more interested in the single player
Yes.
and what aspect of that. Are we going to get like Smash Classic modes, or is there going to be an adventure mode of some kind?
It's possible that we get both, very possible we get both. If they only had to go with one, I think honestly they'd probably lean more towards like having a big single player adventure style mode.
Yeah. And then my next question is, in terms of the characters, do we think any of them are going to be like unlockable, or do you think they're all just going to be available out the gate? Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think Slap City or most of the other platformers actually have unlockable characters. I think they're all just available and you just play from the get-go.
I think there is going to be at least a couple unlockable characters, which you get from whatever Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls, like big single-player mode, adventure mode, story mode, whatever you want to call it, will house.
Yeah, I think that's possible as well, but as I said, I'm just looking forward for when their next trailer comes out. I think everybody is, because I think at this point, that's really all I'm waiting on is just trying to get more information from them outside of their interviews about how the game is aiming towards competitive. Let's get back to character speculation on the topic of the video overall. So let's talk about some franchises that are not represented. We already touched upon Jimmy Neutron a bit. One that struck me as very odd that we didn't see is a very popular series, the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah, yep.
So
that's right.
I figured at bare minimum we would probably see Timmy Turner, and I imagine he would have like Cosmo and Wanda in his kit. It's kind of weird because there's in lore there's wishes against being able to beat up and fight other people. Like there's rules against that.
Yeah, but
and you also can't make wishes to win a competition.
But this game probably isn't going to be canon. So, like...
Well, here's the thing. Maybe that's why he hasn't made the roster, is because they feel like he has a in-canon lore of not being able to use his fairies for a competition.
Oh, let me throw out a weird one. Because we have Reptar for Rugrats. Let me throw out a weird suggestion for the Fairy Odd Parents. The Crimson Chin.
The Crimson Chin. Oh, that would be so great. You'd see him square up on Powdered Toast Man. Oh. Yeah, that'd definitely be my favorite. And then he could be like the Cleft Boy. The Cleft Boy Wonder. Yeah.
Yes. I have seen memes of people wanting fucking Doug Dimmadome in this game because his hat
I've seen memes on
is
that
so fucking big, and it'd be like Sephiroth's sword except in a hat.
I didn't even think of the Crimson Chin. Yeah, I definitely don't know if we're gonna get any characters from the Fairly Odd Parents. I said I don't know if they just use Timmy's like rule book as like an excuse to exclude him or whatever, but.
Yeah,
I definitely think they would be doing us a disservice if we didn't see the Crimson Chin. In terms of likelihood, how likely do we think the Crimson Chin's likely compared to like Vicky or like what's that teacher's name? Mr. Crockett? Was that his name?
Mr. Crocker. Yeah,
Mr. Crocker. I said Crockett.
Honestly, I think the Crimson Chin is the most likely of them all if they don't go with Timmy.
Even going with Timmy, I wouldn't go that far. I still feel like Timmy would be the most likely. I mean, he's the main character. And there's a lot of creative stuff you could do with the fairies and stuff like that you can do.
Yeah. Watch, the characters are the fairies themselves. Imagine.
Oh, that's actually crazy.
Ice climbers, but in fairy form. I do think if we don't get a Fairy Odd Parents character, I think we at least get a stage.
For sure. I definitely think we get a stage from them. It makes sense. You could either go with what's the city called?
Oh God, I don't even know. But yeah, you could go with like the city. You could go with like Timmy's house. You could go with like the fairy world or something.
Hell, you could go with his bedroom even.
Yeah, you could. You could. Yeah, and then with like with a series like Jimmy Neutron, again, if there's not a character, you could at least have like the town they're in as like a stage or something.
Or the garage, yeah.
Yeah, or the garage or something, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a bit of a more obscure series, but I wouldn't call it obscure. The Angry Beavers. We didn't see either Nobert or Daggett at all.
Oh,
So
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
this is a really interesting situation because I can't imagine if we got one, we wouldn't get the others. But overall, I definitely think that these could be two interesting characters that they can include.
Yeah.
Gosh, in
Absolutely.
terms of moveset, what would they have?
I don't know. That'd be like trying to put Monty Mole in Smash Brothers. Like, good luck
Good
making
luck.
a move set.
No, I'm sure there's plenty of content from those cartoons they could pull from. I know that, they could eat up wood and whatnot. Maybe their bite attack's like super powerful or something.
Maybe, yeah.
As a cartoon, there's bound to be some stuff to pull from overall, but that's another series that didn't seem to have any form of representation whatsoever.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, hit me.
And this Nickelodeon just made like an entire studio for this series, Avatar.
Oh,
Yeah.
You talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
Yes, not the blue people.
Okay. Well,
Not the
remember,
blue people.
Aang and Korra are on the box art, so we're moving along with the presumption that they're in.
Oh.
Yeah, Aang and Korra. Okay, let's talk about Avatar anyway, because I actually kind of wanted to overall, because it's low-key my favorite series that's on Nickelodeon. Besides Aang and Korra, because Aang and Korra are the obvious two, because they appeared in pretty much every Nickelodeon, game, like the racing one and whatnot. The question is, do we see any other Avatar characters outside of Aang and Korra? I don't think so.
Maybe
but
like
I would love to see like Zuko or Sokka or Katara or Toph. Oh, Toph would be really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say maybe someone from like the Fire Nation or something.
Well, that's Zuko, my guy.
Yeah.
That's Zuko. But
Yeah,
I think overall, we probably don't see any other characters from Avatar. I definitely don't think we see any other characters from Korra. I think Korra is really all that show needs anyway.
Yeah.
Call me crazy. But I don't know. I would like to see, at the bare minimum, if they add another one outside of Aang and Korra, I'd love to see Zuko. But
Yeah, I agree. I agree
I know
with that.
Toph is a bit of a fan favorite. I know it'd be like meme-tacular, but Iroh would also be a really good
Yep.
character. Because he's the one with all the like really popular like wisdom quotes and all that.
Yeah.
But I
God.
can't imagine that.
That would be
add
that would be
him
the
or-
Nigel. That would be like the Nigel Thornberry meme choice right there.
Yeah, they are kind of lending themselves into like the memes overall.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the wild thornberries because that's next on our list. So we know we have Nigel. I don't know if we see Eliza or if the monkey's Darwin, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly I think Nigel's the only one.
Yeah, because I don't think we see Donnie or Debbie or any of the other characters for the most part.
And I bet you the only reason Nigel is even in is just to say smashing. That's
Probably.
probably it. That's probably
Well,
the
if the
only
game
reason.
doesn't have voice acting, we don't get that.
That would be true. I just realized that. Again, this game better have voice acting.
Yeah.
Please.
To me, I feel like the only character outside of Nigel they can include would be like Eliza. Maybe it'd be like an Ice Climber situation where they have Eliza with Darwin.
Maybe, yeah.
But I think overall, I don't think we see any of the other characters. I know you could probably make a moveset with fucking Donnie.
Yeah.
He's like he's wild and whatnot. But as I said, I just can't see them including more characters than that. I feel like Nigel's the most iconic character in that show anyways, which is I hate to say it.
Yeah, all the damn memes about smashing.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw an oddball question your way. Do you think we see like assist trophy like an assist trophy-like thing in this
That's
game?
a really good question, because I wonder if they do anything with other characters that they don't use. So like, not just assist trophy, but like maybe they appear on certain stages in the background, or
I think there'll be some characters relegated to that role, but
I'll
do you
say
think
this:
that-
other platform fighters typically didn't have character references in the background, or like other characters appearing in items or assist trophies or anything like that. I am going on the speculation. I do not think we see anything like that. I think, for the most part, Nintendo is a kind of tone-deaf company, and I feel like assist trophies and Mii costumes overall are actually more disappointing to see them than it is to not have them in the game at all, in some cases. Because, like, you're basically kind of rubbing salt in the wound, hey, this character you really love and you really wanted in the game, they're not in the game, and now you have confirmation they're never going to be in the game.
I guess, but I do feel like there are some characters within the Nickelodeon universe that, even in like some of the series we've seen, that could definitely be fun, like assist trophies to have.
Oh yeah, or like not even just a assist trophy, but like they refer to him. Like you get Larry from SpongeBob, Larry the Lobster. Like you don't see that character being playable, but oh yeah, you definitely have potential there for like background character, like assist trophy. I don't think they have assist trophies specifically, or like I think the best thing they could do is like what they can do is like how some games have like character assists, where like you press a button, they appear on screen, they kind of like do a move or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how that would work for a platform fighter, but like,
okay, that's a route they could go down.
Yeah, it's definitely something they could do for characters that they can't make full movesets for or whatever. Hell, that might be how the other two Ninja Turtles get regulated, for all we know.
Maybe, or that's how we get like Cosmo and Wanda.
Yeah,
or Goddard,
for Timmy.
or
well, no, I feel like Cosmo and Wanda would definitely be more of a part of Timmy's set overall. Unless Timmy's not in the game, and then that's how they put Cosmo and Wanda in general.
Unless like there's no Fairly Odd Parent characters, unless it's like the Crimson fucking Chin.
The Crimson Chin, please.
Yeah, you know what? Hashtag Crimson Chin for Nick All-Star.
Yeah, well, let's get it trending, guys. Let's get it trending.
But yeah, that's how I feel like Cosmo and Wanda could probably get into Nick All-Star. Is via like character assist or an assist trophy like feature or something like that. Anything else you have before we wrap it up?
Okay, so let's talk about some more series, because I feel like we haven't touched on a lot. There's a lot of series that got representation that only seem to have one rep being their main character. So Invader Zim, we only saw Zim himself, and he had Gur as like part of his moveset. Do you think we see like any of the other characters like Dib, or what's Dib's sister's name? Is it Gaz? I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that show.
I think maybe as like we mentioned earlier, maybe as like background stage characters or like character assists or assist trophy like.
I think Gib definitely has a shot, or not Gib. Dib has a shot.
But potentially, I think Zim is going to be the only one though for
I
Invader.
think I'm with you there. Obviously, we only have Reptar from the Rugrats because they don't want to run around punching babies.
No.
I don't think we see, Stu or Drew. I don't think we see, like Angelica or Susie Carmichael or anything like that.
Oh, God. Maybe as, like, stage backgrounds or something.
Yeah. Here's one. What about from Real Monsters? Because we only got Oblina, and I was actually really shocked to see Oblina overall. I didn't think we were going to get characters from this franchise. I thought maybe Nickelodeon thought it was too obscure or something like that.
Yeah, that's like, out of all the franchises, and my limited knowledge of Nickelodeon franchises, because I was a Cartoon Network kid. But, from my, like, limited knowledge, Our Real Monsters is, like, really obscure. So that was, like, a surprise.
And, just looking at it, Oblina is definitely probably the most recognizable character from that show.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have, the other two characters in the trio with Ickis and Crumb. Part of me kind of doubts it overall.
Yeah.
I think Oblina is probably going to be the sole representation from that game. I think
Yeah.
stage background or something like that for the characters
Yeah.
is probably going to be what we see overall. But that's just something that I thought was interesting to speculate.
Yeah. Danny Phantom.
Yeah, okay, so Danny Phantom has like a plethora of villains to choose from and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they choose any that they feel are more iconic than the other ones in terms of the ghosts. I feel like Danny Phantom's definitely a one rep kind of series as well.
Yeah.
It's not that I think Danny Phantom's obscure or anything like that. I just don't think that series gets more representation than Danny.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think so too.
Okay, so Hey Arnold. So Hey Arnold didn't even show off the main character, they showed off Helga. I do think we see Arnold in some capacity in the game.
I would be gobsmacked if we don't see Arnold as a playable character.
Yeah, because unlike the situation with Reptar, where like you don't want to see characters punching babies, or with Nigel Thornberry, he's just way more recognizable than Eliza.
Yeah, and memeable.
I think in terms of Hey Arnold, you definitely are going to see Arnold. There's just absolutely zero chance. And I imagine they're probably going to have like character-specific interactions with each other.
Yes.
Helga like bullies Arnold, but has like a huge crush on him or something like that. I imagine we'll see things like that come into play.
Yeah, which if they do stuff like that, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see Arnold, in my opinion. I would be absolutely shocked. I wonder if we could see other characters from the Hey Arnold series. I know in the racing game they had Arnold, Gerald, and Helga. But
I think maybe we get Gerald, but I think we might possibly just get Arnold and Helga.
Honestly, the idea of DLC for this game kind of makes or breaks a lot of these characters.
Yeah. And for stage speculation, whatever this street is that the characters live on, that's going to be the stage from Hey Arnold. That's going to be the stage, I guarantee you. Whatever the street is called, that's the background of this image, that's going to be the stage. I guarantee it.
For sure. Another series I wanted to talk a little bit more about is Rocco's Modern Life. We know Rocco is in the game. We were kind of just like speculating whether or not we would see a second character from that series. I think the only two that have any potential is Filbert or Heifer. I don't think they would include, like Ed Bighead or like anything else like that. I feel like they just kind of go with one of his like friends. I can't really see them going with anybody else overall. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Obviously Rocco has gotten some like recent stuff, so like it might make sense to add like maybe another character because that series has a bit more relevancy to it these days.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just don't have enough series knowledge to know which one they would add.
That's also fair. Rocco is definitely one of the series I didn't watch as much on Nickelodeon. We were just talking about this series earlier. I already forgot about it. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I guess we didn't talk about this at all. I don't think we're going to see any of the IRL Nickelodeon characters.
Yeah, it's pretty apparent. Even though it's called Nickelodeon, I think it's just going to exclusively be Nicktoons characters, and I think that's the right move.
Oh yeah, I absolutely think that's the right moves as well. But I guess while we're speculating on things outside of Nicktoons, what do you think about like the what's the Nickelodeon Kids one? Nick Kids.
Nick Jr.
Nick Jr. Yeah. Do we get any Nick Jr. representation? Do you see like Blues from Blue's Clues? Do you see Dora the Explorer? What do you think about that?
I think maybe Dora as a stage. I'm gonna throw this out there. Maybe we do get Blue's Clues as a character.
Or is his name Steve?
Yeah, that's the name of the human. I'm talking the dog.
Well, I know
Talking
you're
about-
talking the dog. I don't think we see any Nick Jr. characters. I know, like, it's crazy, and some people are speculating some Nick Jr. characters. I personally just don't see it.
If we get a Nick Jr. property, it'll be a stage.
like,
That's
these are
about
the kind of characters you have assist trophies of and like stuff like that.
Yeah, or assist trophies. Yeah, if we don't get like a stage,
Like maybe like you get a Blues Clues like assist trophy, and he just puts blue paws all over the screen so you can't see.
yeah,
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
yeah, something like that. But yeah, I don't. Other than maybe a stage and an assist character, maybe I don't think we see Nick Jr. either. And yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, honestly, I can't think of any other series that I haven't covered. I know the show that Lincoln Loud's from. I don't even know what the show is called. It might just be Lincoln Loud.
Loud House is what the show is called.
Okay. I don't know if we'll see other characters from that series. I'm not even remotely well versed in it.
This series got one more character than I thought, but it got two characters. So I think that's its limit right there.
Yeah, as I said, I just don't know enough about the series overall to see how many characters they're gonna get. But anyways, I think that's about everything I wanted to speculate for the game.
Yeah.
So
we will obviously continue to follow this game. If there's any new major information with this game, we will let you know.
Absolutely. So anyway, this has been Slade.
This has been Byron. We hope you all have a good day, good night, and goodbye.
That's it, everybody. We will see you next time.